Morning, sun's coming up. The wind is kind of average, but we're out here. Let's go fishing. You. So I'm just cruising along here, trying to find some bait on the sounder. Just watching the bottom. I'm in a bit of an area I haven't fished before, so I'm just sort of having a bit of a cruise and just seeing what the bottom looks like. I'm not going to spend too much time because the sun is rapidly on its way up, and I kind of want to be anchored and getting into it. Oh, here's some bait. Not a huge amount, but it's enough. It shows there's bait in the area. So I'm just going to put the anchor down here and then reverse back onto this ledge that's behind me here. It runs from 16 metres up to 13, and there's like a bit of a ledge behind me, so the wind's kind of already southwest if anything, so it's probably going to blow me backwards. Not ideal, but it is what it is. You can't pick and choose the weather, unfortunately. I'll get this anchor down and I'll get sorted out. So my first bait, half a mealie, through the eye, back around, through the meat. I'll get this one out. This is totally unweighted, just on a 30-pound leader, totally unweighted. I'll just cast that out, probably, I don't know, 15 metres out the back, because I'm sitting in 15 metres of water. That just lets that swing and arc down, and it'll take a while, and when I see it straight up and down, I know it's getting close to the bottom, and then I'll wind it in and cast it back out again. All right, bait number 2, same again. I'm just going to whack 2 baits out for now. When the sun comes up a little bit, hopefully I'll get myself a snapper early, but once the sun comes up a bit, then I'll swap over and put a plastic on one of these rods and start experimenting a bit. But while it's kind of dark and this pre-dawn sort of stuff, I like to have baits out. Now, these leftover little leftover tails that I cut off, cubes, I'll just chuck those out. A few like that. I got some bread rolls here. A couple of stale bread rolls. They'll go in the burley pot at the back here. I've also got some dirty old muleys from last time in here. Crush that up. Get a bit of a trail going. I liken this to, I liken it to Subway. You walk past Subway, you smell the bread, and you want it. Doesn't matter whether you've just eaten 10 minutes ago or not. As soon as you smell that bread, you want it. Same with this. Get a bit of burley in the water, get some smell out there. Just makes the fish hungry. If they smell this, they're going to come around. They're going to be going, oh, hang on, I'm pretty hungry. There's a few little tidbits. I'll have that. They don't have to work hard for it. It's right there. So burley is like the Subway factor, if that makes any sense, which probably doesn't. Probably just Scotty dribbling again. Now you can see this line's almost straight up and down. That's actually got to the bottom really fast. Actually, I don't think it's gone to the bottom, but it's kind of swept down through the water column reasonably fast. So I'll wind this back up. Just gently, you don't have to go crazy on it. If you just wind it slowly, sometimes it'll get hit while it's moving. If you go too fast, then nothing's touching it. Cast that back out, and we go again. Come on, eat it, eat it, eat it. Yes. Wow. Oh, I hope this is not that shark. There's been a little hammerhead hanging around. Yeah, I think it is. It's gone straight to the surface. Oh, I didn't really want to hook this guy. Is that him? Yeah, it's him. It's the shark. I don't think it's going to last long. So, I didn't really want to hook this guy. I've been like throwing half cubes of muleys down here to keep him occupied while I'm throwing my baits right out the back, but I don't think this is going to last long. He'll bite me off. Cool little hammerhead shark. He smelt my burley from miles away. It's been dead here this morning, just nothing. I don't know why. It's not very nice either. It's been lumpy as anything. And then this guy came around, which is about the only action I've seen all morning. Don't go over there. Don't go over there. Yeah, he's gone. He's snipped me off. Alright. I'm going to use that as a sign to leave because he'll probably just hang around. Yeah, look at that. He's just snipped off my leader clean there. He's probably just going to hang around while there's still a food source around. He's going to hang, and I don't want to hook him again. It's not what I was aiming for. He was only a little hammerhead shark about 1 metre long. I saw him swimming around here before. The snapper have been super quiet. The sun's coming up now anyway. I'm going to head and see what else I can find. Probably go and look for some kingfish on the inshore reefs and see what I can find there. So I guess this is the bit that most people don't see and that most people don't do. I'm just cruising around now. I'm out sort of where I was fishing the snapper, and before I leave I'm just going to have a cruise around. I'll give it 15-20 minutes just cruising around with one eye on the sounder, just looking for some new ground, looking for some fluffy bottom, just looking for any sort of anomalies. A lot of people always talk about spots, and you got all these good spots, and it's not really spots, it's just an area. I fish an area and I take the time to sound around and get to know that area well. I picked a stretch of reef, maybe a 500 metre stretch of reef, and every time I come out here I take a little bit of time just to sound around, have a bit of a look around, just get a better idea of what this area looks like and what's what and what's where. That's how you find your better spots. It's not so much the spot, it's just areas, and you get to learn the bait will hold here and not there. There's a bit of fluffy stuff on the bottom over here, there's a big ledge over there. You get to know that area really well, and it just paints a better picture in your mind of where the fish might be hiding, and helps you out. So I'm just doing a bit of a spin around now, probably give it 15-20 minutes, just cruising along. I'm doing 5 knots, one eye on the sounder, just zigzagging backwards and forth, and looking for anything basically. Just keep my eye on it, looking for fluffy bottom, looking for bait fish, looking for anything. I didn't really do this morning because the sun was coming up and I wanted to fish, but generally I'll spend 5 to 10 minutes when I first rock up looking for bait too, where I'm going to fish. But it's really hard at the moment. The sun's coming up so early. As it was, I got up at 3:45 and I still sort of didn't really beat the sunrise. So yeah, in the winter you get a lot more time to sound around and find that bait before you start fishing. But for now I'm going to have a bit of a cruise around, see what I can find. If I find anything interesting, I'll show you guys what I'm looking for. So look at that, there's a whole heap of bait just there, just over from where I was. But also, have a look at the bottom here. If I can drive back over it again, I just drove over this before. There's some really, it's hard, and then it sort of goes hollow all through here, with some cool looking fluffy stuff and all bait holding on top. That's good stuff. That's what you're looking for. I'm going to do a few circles around here and see if I can't find something good, and then I'll mark that and I'll come back and have a look at it next time. It's nothing much. You'd never even see that if you're going fast. Here we go, look at this. See that? That's some good fluffy bottom. That's what I'm looking for right there. I'm going to mark that. That's some good fluffy bottom. I'll come back and have a look at that another day. It's almost worth a drift now actually. Yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll put on a jig and I'll drift it now, see if I can pick something up there. Alright, I'm just going to have a quick drop here. I don't know if I actually landed right on it there. It's not exactly the right rod for the job here either. Just quietly. It's just going to give it a little bit of reverse to kind of hold me in position here. I'm actually using my popper chucking rod because it's all I kind of had rigged up ready to go at the time. Yeah, okay, fish on. There you go, that was just one drift over the top of that bit of fluff I just showed you. Literally one drift. All I got on is a muley as well. Oh, it's got some weight. All I got on is a muley because it's the only bait I had Ideally, I'd like a fillet of herring or a fillet of skippy or something a bit more substantial to drop down on the snap bait, but Amelia is what I had. One drop. Let's see what we got. I think this might be a baldy, but looking at it, I'm just going, oh, it's taking a bit of line. I'm just going nice and slow on it. No, it's a jewfish. Look at that. Beautiful little jewfish. There you go. Beautiful little jewfish. He goes just size. He goes 54 centimeters. Perfect eating size. Perfect little jewfish. Too easy. Just spotted a bit of fluff, and there he was. All right. Well, that's dinner. That's what we came for. And now I'm going to go look for some kingfish. You. All right. Just found another bit of fluffy stuff. Look at that. That's like a cave. Oh, here we go, and more fluff off the back here in 18 metres. Another spot worth marking, which I will do right now. I'm not going to fish that now because I've got what I'm looking for, but it just shows you 10 minutes of circling around and I found what I'm looking for. That simply, I spent an hour over there this morning fishing for nothing, and with 10 minutes of circling around, bang, I got a jewfish like first drop. So yeah, just spend the time. Don't zoom in on other people and ping their marks. Look for your own. It's not that hard. 10-15 minutes circling around, pick an area, slow down. Your sounder's not going to pick it up at high speed unless you really know what you're doing. Slow right down and you'll see stuff that you've never seen before, and you'll find you'll catch a lot more fish. Rightio. Just tucked in on the edge of this reef here, and I'm going to get a few casts in here into this washy zone. First things first, get some smell on the water. Again, the old Subway factor, get some smell. As soon as I smell that Italian herb bread, I want Subway every time. Oh no, I've got some sort of tangle going on up here. It's not looking cool at all. Not cool at all. I've got a little bit of burley going, and first things first, I've got a muley here. I'm just going to hang him over the back. Just there. I don't want it to go to the bottom. I just want it to sit there mid-water, because if the kingfish come in, sometimes they'll follow your poppers in. Sometimes the kingfish will follow your poppers in but not eat it. If that mule is sitting there, they'll come in and they will eat that every time. Zoink! So poppers, I've talked about this before, but the splash, splash, splash of the poppers just really attracts them. If they're in the area, they hear that splashing and they come from miles around to come and see what it is. So I've got a bit of smell on the water. I've got a bait sitting down there ready to go. Now I'm just going to use this popper to see if I can attract them in. Hopefully they'll hit the popper, but sometimes they don't. But nearly every time if they see the popper, they will certainly follow it in. And if they follow it in, they'll smell this belly, so A, they'll hang around, and B, that muley's hanging down there, which one of them won't be able to resist because they love a muley almost as much as they love a popper. Now let's just see if I can put it all together and not make a liar out of myself. I love this fishing. It's so visual as well. When you see them come in, they come in hot and they're just so visual and so good to see. So exciting. Let's see if they're home. Some days they're here, some days they're not. It's just a matter of punching through 100 casts and just seeing if you can scare them out. So why here? Well, all this wave action's coming in the back here, pushing all the food source into the back of this reef and then just swirling it around on the back of the reef. So it's like a big pressure wave pushing everything into the back of the reef, and then it hits the solid rock and it just sort of swirls around there. So all the little bait fish are getting pushed in here, and then they're getting disorientated by this white water and the waves, and the predators are in here searching for them. But the bait fish also comes in here because it's shallow. There's seagrass beds in here, so you got your prawns, your shrimps, your little crabs, all that sort of stuff. They come in here looking for that sort of stuff. So your herring, your skippy, whatever else, they're all in here hunting in these sandy, weed grassy sort of beds. They got lots of heavy structure nearby for shelter, so they're happy. The bait fish are getting washed in here, getting pushed up against the edge of the reef. It's just a real dynamic zone, and those pelagic fish like your kingfish and your tailor and stuff, they just love these kind of zones. Alright, so I'm parked in at the back here now, and I'm throwing my popper into the back of the break here just to see once more. The bait's getting pushed up into the back of that zone there. Once it's in there, it's pressed up hard against the back of the reef, and the fish will just be in there feeding on it. So just pays to come in here and just pepper this with a few casts and just see if they're home. Again with the popper, just to try to create a bit of noise, create a bit of splash. Just let them know I'm here. If the popper doesn't work, I'll switch to the Berserker Chromie, have a few casts for that, switch back to the popper, just keep mixing it up. Oh, I think that was just a bit of a splash there. I think something just had a bit of a crack there. Maybe, maybe not. There's one little baby kingfish down there, just come in and scooped up a bit of burley. Just a little one, real small. But generally when there's one, there's more. I've got the brim gear out. I'll see if I can hook one of these small ones just to show you, because they're pretty cool looking fish. If they'll eat this little Cuban muley I just dropped down. Yeah, I'm in. All right, on the brim gear. Here we go. Oh, it's a skippy. I've got a skippy out of them. That'll be right. Oh, skippy, clean release. Yeah, I think I'm in. Got one of these little kings on. Look at him, isn't he? Not the cutest little fish. There you go, beautiful little kingfish. He's only a little toddler. He can go back. Where's the big ones? I don't know, the big ones just don't seem to be around today. What's going on here? I've got something on, have I? Yeah, I've got something on here. What do we got? Oh, here we go. Finally we caught a decent, got a proper fish. That was just my cheeky muley out the back while I was casting poppers around, and I just had that cheeky muley swinging out the back there. There's been heaps of small kings just all in the back here. I've been watching them, but I knew if I kept casting out towards the back of the small ones that the big ones wouldn't be too far away. Is this a king? Where is it? I haven't even seen it yet. Oh, this is a little shark. Oh, it's the day of the shark today. Oh, and he's just pinged me off. That was a little shark. Huh. Oh well. Bit of action. I'm out of here. It's been a pretty quiet morning. At least I got a jewfish for dinner. If you like our videos, stay tuned and I'll see you in the next episode. Thanks for watching. I'm going to head into the beach and go for a swim. Yew!